Welcome to this course. I split it up into 10 different sections and let's just have a quick overview. I will start with virtual warehouses. To me, virtual warehouses are like car engines. And you'll have to get used with the fact that just like with a car, when you turn your engine on, it doesn't matter if you drive, you can stay in the parking lot or in the garage, it will consume gas. And in the same way, a virtual warehouse should not necessarily run queries. As long as it is up, it is active, it may be idle, doing nothing, and it will cost you money. In the past, Snowflake started as a data warehouse, but right now they are more and more data cloud. So these virtual warehouses used to be like SQL engines or rather like database servers. Right now they execute also all sorts of code in Python, in Java, in Scala, so they became also application servers. So we'll have a look at this, and in the next chapter actually we'll go deeper into the kind of compute workloads. To me, these are like the trips you are doing with your car right now, because there will be different patterns and different ways you will prepare for a trip to the superstore, to the marketplace, or a trip in vacation. I don't know, 1,000 miles away. So we'll have a look at the kind of compute workloads. We'll learn about protecting your warehouses with resource monitors and budgets to be notified when you're overspending. How to manually or automatically kill long-running, never-ending queries, long-running queries. That's very important because we know about a lot of stories with people who left such queries there, and a few days later they woke up with a hefty bill. We'll have an introduction to all sorts of Snowflake accounts, and definitely we'll go deeper into the free trial account. So I'll show you right away how to create a free trial account because we'll have $400 just to waste. But let's do this by learning not to waste anymore anything when we'll switch to a paid Snowflake account. We have a deep dive into the 4 different Snowflake editions. In particular, the Enterprise edition comes with a lot of useful features, but this will cost you more. And I had clients in life, they asked me, but should I pay for this or no? So we'll analyze everything also from this perspective. Do you really need a few features here? And I know for a fact, multi-cluster warehouses are one of the important features, materialized views as well. We'll have a look at this, and we'll end up looking also closely to the business critical edition and then to the virtual private Snowflake edition. About queries, I split them up into query monitoring and query optimization. Monitoring is just watching over them, and optimization, this means changing them eventually to improve their speed, to make them their latency and speed the execution time very fast. So for the query monitoring, definitely we'll look at the query history, query tags, how to use query tags, or small queries that may pile up if you execute them frequently, and they may cost you if over the day you executed them 10,000 times without knowing something sometimes. As I was saying, query optimization, we'll start optimizing queries, looking at the query profile, or using the explain statement. But we'll look deeper into some other areas, and we'll end up with remote speech optimization and so on. I'll teach you also about the new vectorized UDFs, which are very important, especially in data science environments. This is a chapter that I love because I'll have the opportunity to share with you some very exciting features. Usually they come with the Enterprise Edition, but you have them also with the Standard Edition. So I'm talking in particular about the query acceleration service, the search optimization service, automatic clustering, and so on. I will end up actually with hybrid tables, and they are also a new exciting feature. What they all have in common, and that's why I dedicated such a chapter to them, is usually they are built separately in a different way. You don't pay as much for data storage as for compute, but you should be aware that when you pay, you may pay too much in many cases, because people are not always aware, but you may avoid paying for automatically for fail-safe or for time travel by using transient temporary tables and changing the data retention times in days. That's a parameter which is by default in the standard edition is 1 day. So do you need it or not? Yeah, you have to decide. And yeah, we'll talk more about cloning, zero copy cloning. This would be a deep dive, brief but deep dive to get familiar with this exciting feature. We talk about data transfer and why it's important. You'll see, you may wake up with a very hefty bill if you start transferring data out between different providers, between different regions as well. But if you transfer, let's say, if you start with Snowflake with AWS and you want to transfer data in your Azure account somewhere, this may cost you. We'll end up with Snowflake applications because it's very rare that Snowflake does not connect with other applications around. So we have a whole ecosystem, and here you may find third-party applications like Looker, Tableau, Power BI, dbt for data pipelines, and so on. But you may have in-house applications that you developed yourself. Also, you may download from the marketplace these new native apps, and you should be aware that they may consume your credits. How to prevent this, how to use them, how to shut them down, we'll talk about this.